What started as one angry tweet from a British mother has now spiraled into a global free speech showdown. And in a move no one saw coming, the United States, yes, the White House, is now directly watching what Keir Starmer's government is doing. What does that say about the state of liberty in the UK? And why is Donald Trump's circle suddenly involved? You're about to find out. But first, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more. This story just keeps getting bigger, and now it's gone international. The case of Lucy Connelly, the British mother jailed for over 2.5 years because of a single tweet, has now caught the attention of the United States government, and it's turning into a full-blown diplomatic embarrassment for Sir Keir Starmer. Let's be clear about what happened here. Lucy Connelly, the wife of a Conservative councillor and a mother of one, posted an angry message online in the wake of nationwide riots following a brutal stabbing attack in Southport. The attacker, Axel Rudakubana, was a Rwandan national whose presence in the UK had already raised serious questions about immigration controls and public safety. In response to the chaos, Connolly posted a message on X, formerly Twitter, that read, "Mass deportation now, set fire to all the effing hotels full of the For All I Care. While you're at it, take the treacherous government and politicians with them." Now, was the post inflammatory? Absolutely. But what followed has shocked people on both sides of the Atlantic. Just under 4 hours later, Connolly deleted the tweet. No calls to violence were made. No riot was incited. It was an angry comment made in the heat of the moment, deleted within hours. But that didn't stop British authorities from arresting her on August 6th, 2024. And now she's sitting in prison, serving a 31-month sentence. To put that in perspective, there are criminals who walk free for violent assaults in less time. Yet Connolly, a mother, has been treated like a dangerous felon over a single deleted post. Appeals have already been made. And last week, those two were shut down. Lord Justice Holroyd and his fellow judges ruled that the sentence was not excessive, stating that Connolly's version of events was substantially based on a version of events which we have rejected. Her release has been ruled out before August. But now comes the twist. The US State Department has formally confirmed it is monitoring the situation. A spokesperson stated, "The United States supports freedom of expression at home and abroad, and remains concerned about infringements on freedom of expression." This follows efforts by campaigners, some of whom contacted US Secretary of State Marco Rubio, to raise concerns about Europe's increasing crackdown on speech. The growing concern from Washington has led to top figures like US Vice President J.D. Vance weighing in. Speaking at the Munich Security Conference earlier this year, Vance said, "In Britain and across Europe, free speech, I fear, is in retreat. Even within Britain, the criticism has been fierce." Former Home Secretary Suella Braverman didn't mince her words. She called Connolly a political prisoner and said the US interest in the case should shame Keir Starmer's government. She made an ill-judged tweet, soon deleted, "Free speech is in crisis under Labour." What we're seeing here is not just a domestic legal controversy, it's a symbol of something much bigger. Britain, once a beacon of democratic values and liberty, is now being lectured by its closest ally about basic freedoms. That's not just embarrassing, it's alarming. And for Starmer, the pressure is mounting. The US stepping in to monitor a British free speech case is unheard of in modern times. It signals to the world that something is seriously wrong. So where does this go next? That remains to be seen. But one thing's for sure, the Lucy Connelly case is no longer just a UK story. It's now a global warning shot about the fragile state of free expression in the so-called free world. In other news, Sir Keir Starmer has been warned he risks creating a £5 billion hole in the public finances as he considers U-turning on benefit cuts following backbench pressure. The Prime Minister is set to cost the Treasury up to £1.5 billion by restoring winter fuel payments for most pensioners, while potentially losing a further £3.5 billion if the two-child benefit cap is scrapped. The potential reversals come as Chancellor Rachel Reeves prepares for her autumn budget amid expectations of bleak economic forecasts. Left-wing Labour MPs are pushing for looser purse strings, with government whips working to prevent a major rebellion. Reform leader Nigel Farage is also attempting to outflank Labour by calling for winter fuel payments to be fully restored and the two-child benefit cap to be completely removed. Starmer announced last week that more pensioners would receive winter fuel payments than his government had initially planned. Treasury officials are expected to restore the payments, which had been stripped from nearly 10 million pensioners last summer, to almost everyone in retirement except the very wealthy. The new approach could involve clawing back payments from only the most well-off pensioners when they file tax returns, allowing Labour to maintain its position that millionaires won't receive the benefit. This revised policy would generate significantly smaller savings than the original £1.5 billion target. If the payment was only removed from the million pensioners in the 45% additional income tax bracket, it would save between £200 million and £300 million. The Prime Minister is also facing pressure to scrap the two-child benefit cap on universal credit, which would cost the Treasury an additional £3.5 billion if removed entirely. The Observer reported that Starmer wants to remove the policy, which was originally introduced by the Conservatives. Whitehall sources caution that no decisions have been made on what might replace the current limit. Any changes to the cap are expected to be announced around the budget. The government has delayed its poverty strategy from summer until the autumn budget, when the financial situation will be clearer. Complete removal of the cap would significantly increase pressure for new tax rises or spending cuts. Reeves faces additional financial pressures beyond the benefit policy reversals. Home Office plans to reduce net migration by 100,000 annually could cost the Treasury £7 billion by the end of the decade, according to estimates. Last week's announcement of above-inflation public sector pay rises could add £2 billion to £3 billion to annual spending, creating further budgetary strain. The government hopes new trade deals with America, India, and the European Union will boost trade and generate additional tax revenue. Treasury officials are also reportedly urging the Office for Budget Responsibility to recognise that Labour's house building plans will stimulate economic growth more than previously forecast. Donald Trump's trade protectionism decisions could have unpredictable impacts on UK economic forecasts. Mel Stride, the Shadow Chancellor, has strongly criticised Labour's approach to public finances. He told The Telegraph, Labour have already lost control of the public finances and abandoned any pretense of fiscal responsibility. Now they are looking at loading up billions more in welfare spending, paid for either by higher taxes for working families or through yet more borrowing. Stride added, when added to the likely cost of their panicked climb down on winter fuel payments, the Chancellor faces a potential £5 billion black hole. Rachel Reeves's credibility is having new holes torn in it by the day. She is the tinfoil chancellor, too weak to withstand pressure, including from her own colleagues. Despite the mounting pressure, a number 10 insider has insisted that no final decisions have been taken on either the winter fuel payment position or the future of the two-child benefit cap. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comments section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.